messing up all sorts of stuff.
No sweat.
You're good to go.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome. This is the March 5th meeting of the Community Preservation Committee. This open meeting of the Community Preservation Committee is being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, signed into law March 29, 2023. All members of the CPC are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The act allows the CPC to meet entirely remotely as long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream may do so by going to, I would recommend the town's website under committees, go to Community Preservation Committee and find the information there under the Northborough YouTube remote meetings. And ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. I want to confirm everyone that's here. Could you please speak in the affirmative when I call your name? Todd?
Here.
Sean? I see you.
You're muted, Sean.
Wait, that's good enough. Leslie?
Here.
Peter?
I am here.
Andy Clark?
Here.
Ray Carlson?
Here.
And Millie Milton?
Here.
And John Campbell? I am here. We have a nearly full committee. We definitely have a quorum. Thank you all for making time for the meeting tonight. We can be relatively brief. First item on the agenda is approving the minutes from our January 29, 2026 meeting. Lori submitted edited minutes earlier today. I personally did check that the numbers match between our motions and the warrant articles and my own notes, and it looks good to me. Are there any other comments or edits regarding the minutes?
I have a question. On the Historical Society Windows minutes, bottom first, well, I guess I printed out first page, first paragraph, really. It says there's 23 windows, rebuilding 23 windows and replacing 15 storm. But in the application, it says it's a total of 21 windows and 13 storm in the revised application. In the actual real first application, it says 25 and 15. So do we assume that the revised application has the wrong numbers, or did they change the numbers somewhere they're not consistent?
If anyone knows offhand, please chime in. I'm looking back at my.
I'm looking at the presentation, so if you just bear with me for a minute.
Sure.
I thought
It
there
does
was
say removal and restoration of 23 double hung wooden windows.
23. So, okay. I guess the application has a different numbers.
Yeah, we had discussed
Revised
this
applications.
I thought we discussed this at the last meeting, and it was a revised application that not all of us had gotten, and I was under the same impression that the application we were discussing at the meeting was not what was submitted, but it turns out a revised application with the revised numbers had been submitted. Am I remembering that right, John?
Yes. Um,
I remember that, Peter. I remember that. There was
Yeah.
a discussion about the discrepancy between the two
Yeah.
things.
Yeah,
And there was, they did confirm that the the revised application was the correct number of components, whether it's
yeah,
storms or new. So that was addressed, and the applicants did confirm that prior
Right.
to us making the motion.
that's my memory as well.
Okay, so it is 23 windows and 15 storm?
I believe so.
Okay. That was my only,
yeah, sorry to be out of the loop on the discussion just then, but I swear they handed out a revised summary and I can't find it.
right.
Um,
Well, I have revision 1 and that's where the discrepancy is. And that was printed just before the last, that was printed for the last meeting. So yeah. And this district, yeah, okay.
well, I guess we need to get it right for the town meeting presentation, but the
Yeah,
warrant, the warrant article, I have a copy of what Lori submitted. The warrant article says for the purpose of restoring 21 double hung windows and 13 storm windows. So
Oops.
right.
we need to get that clarified,
Okay.
both before the warrant's published and obviously before we present.
Yeah, it's obviously you want to make it consistent with the application too, yeah.
So even if at the risk of asking them to do something they already did, if there is a revised application or an addendum, I've got 100,000 pages and not one of them is what I'm looking for. But I think we could, so
Also,
the
on the
minute,
meeting minutes, really quickly, it says January 29, 2025.
you're correct at the both on the heading of each page and at the top.
So the updated, I just opened up the updated application, which was dated January 28th,
Yeah,
2026. And
right.
that narrative says 21 double hung windows and 13 storm windows. So their
Right.
presentation says 23 and 15.
Right.
So I will ask them to clarify, because
Yeah.
of course we have different information.
Right.
Lori, forgive me, just to confirm the January 28, 2026 revised application says 21 windows and 13 storm.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And then, so in the minutes, the paragraph that leads off is really discussing the updated application that the committee got previously. And maybe that one said 23 and 15,
Okay.
because we're,
Yeah,
I believe the first sentence is referring to what we thought we had at the prior meeting, January 8th.
what I have is the application with 21 windows and 13 storm windows is dated October 31, 2025.
Okay.
Right. So I think that's where there's like 3 different references to different numbers. I just think,
Right, including the project costs.
So now we have, in the minutes, it reviews the discussion we had and that they brought new bids and that they ultimately were comfortable with the 212,760 number. The minutes don't reference the number of windows again, but
Well, they do. It's 23 and 15.
once again, from what I'm reading in the text, the minutes begin describing the revised application that we had, or the revised presentation as of the January 8 meeting, and that may have covered 23 and 15. Then they presented us new information at the January 29 meeting,
Right.
ultimately arriving at the 212,760 number. And that is confirmed in the revised application that Lori's mentioning. And that's posted on the town website now, Lori?
So I guess my question becomes, yeah, the revised one has 21 and 13. The old one had 23 and 15. So that's the one they're talking about. Okay. 8, 14, 23. Okay.
What's missing in the minutes is that somewhere we must have heard them say the new numbers of how many windows.
Right,
Yeah.
but I didn't have anywhere in the scope of the project that shows that, I guess. In that change, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
I bet it's on the video recording.
Sure it is. Yep. There you go.
Yeah, okay. And I do have a physical copy in my hand, so we were given this at the January 29 meeting.
Yep. Okay.
We could choose to add a note in paragraph 2 of the minutes where the new bid is referenced.
Yeah, I think that would help clarify that then.
Yeah, it's the second to last sentence. It says the new quote accounts for 188,418 window replacement and restoration. You could put a note in parentheses there, or follow that with another sentence, like if we're trying to make the minutes match what was clearly presented to us.
That sounds good.
Is that an edit you can add, Lori, whether it's a parentheses?
I just realized I'm on mute, so I've been talking for the last couple of minutes.
Oh my God.
What
It
I
sounded
was
great.
I'm like, why isn't he listening to me?
You know,
What
John.
what I was pointing out is that this is the quote that they decided to go with. So this is historic window restoration, and you can see in the quote that it talks about 15 storm windows.
Oh,
So even though the first page is still talking about 21 windows and 13 storms, their application is inconsistent. So I think what I have to do is reach out to the applicant and have him clarify how many windows we're really talking about.
And can that be added as a sort of a formal amendment to the proposal, to the request?
Sure, I will ask him to provide something in writing.
yeah.
Stating
record.
exactly how many windows we're talking about.
Yeah.
And then that discussion will be reflected in the minutes of this meeting.
Yeah, because that's even more confusing now.
And ultimately, we've got to
was-
get the warrant article corrected if need be.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. That was a good catch, Millie. So I
Any
will-
other? Very good. Okay, so we've got a plan on that. Any other good catches?
I'd move approval of the minutes as revised.
Second.
not quite sure how you want to revise the minutes. If you could clarify.
Through amending the description of the project from the Northborough Historical Society for the Northborough Historical Society building window replacement project.
Okay, what words do you want me to put in the minutes?
Oh, you mean well, I would simply say, as John is suggesting, in that second to last sentence in the first full paragraph on page 2 of the minutes. And it says, window replacement restoration, $5,000 for glass replacement, a 10% contingency of 19,342 parens for X number of windows and Y number of storm windows.
We're stuck because the quote doesn't match the
Oh.
revised application they handed us.
That's right. That's why Lori's going to ask them to supplement that with something in writing that can conform that supplemented application with our
Right.
approval as reflected in the minutes.
So there's nothing wrong with the minutes then.
no,
Do you want me to leave them?
I just knew they
minutes
were
alone?
they were just inconsistent with what
Yeah,
was.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
if we can't point out where the quantities were discussed between the physical copy of the revised application that we had in our hands
Mhm.
and the physical copy of the quote, and we didn't discuss it, then it's not in the minutes. I don't think the minutes need amending. We just need to get the right information. And Millie's brought that out, right? So
Mhm.
I guess what I'm saying is it appears the minutes reflect what we talked about, and we didn't talk about the quantity. We were focused more on the new quotes, the reduced cost, and their confidence in the new bid.
Mhm.
Therefore, can we amend or change the motion?
Well, you want to just withdraw the motion?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe
I'll do that. Yeah.
we're concluding that we don't need to amend the minutes. We
Yep.
just need to.
No, withdraw the motion.
Okay. Anybody would want to try a new motion?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I wanted to note that I did send out an amended minute. I did receive some suggested changes from Ray.
Yep.
And make note that the date should say 2026.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
So
So,
sorry, Andy, try again on the motion.
I would like, I'm sorry, I would like to make a motion to accept the amended minutes dated,
January
was
29,
it
26.
1/29, 26, as presented.
Sounds good.
Second.
Second from Peter before Todd. Okay, very good. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll take a roll call vote to approve the minutes. Todd,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Leslie,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes,
Ray,
Yes.
Millie,
Yes.
and John is yes. Whew, got through that.
Sorry.
That's all right. You pointed out the right item. Very good. The remainder of our agenda really is just discussing the three main applications that we brought forward. We've presented those as articles. And in addition, as our minutes reflect, we presented as articles the recommendation to the Affordable Housing Reserve, and then the White Cliffs debt service, which has been customary each year until the debt is done, and the administrative fund. So I won't, bother to talk or need to talk about those unless someone else wants to. But on the three main applications, which are somewhat considered capital projects within CPA, I mainly want to use this meeting to update the committee on any new information, and continue to get feedback. I'm starting to make notes about what our presentation would look like. I've been asked to appear before the select board on Monday, and I shall do so. I think there was a request to appear before the appropriations committee, but has that been firmed up, Lori?
Has it been firmed up as far as when the meeting is with the select board? Is that what you said?
No, the appropriations committee, I remember seeing emails regarding whether we could
Oh.
present, and was that determined if we are or not?
I received an email from Scott, and actually I see that he's here on this meeting. And he said that he spoke with the other members and they did not feel like a presentation was necessary.
Okay, very good. Good to know.
Although I did hear, did you receive an email from Stephanie regarding the select board meeting?
Yes, I did, and I agreed to appear on the 9th, on Monday.
Okay. And there is also going to be a mock town meeting. I believe it's going to be April 16th. It's going to be held at the senior center. And she has asked that we present the three articles that are the more controversial ones. So that's going to be an opportunity for folks to ask questions and kind of provide feedback. But it's going to be just one evening and not the full complement of articles, like, for example, the zoning articles, because the planning board held a public hearing. Those will not be part of the mock town meeting.
I
What-
made a note that is April 13 at the senior center. It's a Monday.
You're correct. It's April 13th.
Okay, very good. So I
Is
have
there
it down to
precedent?
participate in that.
Is there a precedent for a mock?
What is
Town
what is a
meeting?
mock town meeting?
Just to,
It's my
It-
understanding the intent is to give, and it's open to the public, right? So give citizens an opportunity to ask more questions, and maybe even the presenters to react or fine tune to that, with the goal being to reduce the time of town meeting. If I've said that correctly, Lori.
Yes, that's my understanding.
And when
this
is
is
that?
the first time. So it's an experiment.
When is that scheduled for? I'm sorry.
April 13th at the Senior Center. It's a Monday night.
Oh, I did see that. Okay. I didn't know what that was actually about. So thank you.
What time is it,
Oh.
Lori? 6 or?
Starts at 6.
Okay, thanks.
6 p.m.
Recognizing that we don't have any say in the matter, let me just see if I understand this. You're going to have a town meeting before the town meeting where you're going to have important questions discussed without the legislative body present, so that when we have the actual town meeting, no one will know what happened. Doesn't sound
That's-
just fine to me. Good idea. What could go wrong?
Wait, what?
Yeah,
It
That-
seems kind of redundant because every committee is operating under, we have public hearing times, ourselves included. So if people are, or, technically, if people are concerned about some of the things, they should be in the town, they should be in the public hearing of the committees that are when they're having them. So it seems like, oh, I don't have time to bother with all those things, but let me get a dry run and put it through here prior to the actual town meeting. It seems
I personally, I thought it was potentially beneficial. A lot of discussion after last town meeting was around this concept of somehow bringing forth what the actual warrant articles are and giving people an opportunity to ask questions. It is valid that people could participate in other meetings, but bringing it to one spot, I'm not sure it's a bad idea. I don't know how well it's going to work out or how long it'll go, but
is the
they-
select board going to be there as well?
I anticipate they would be, and I think it's an effort starting from the town administrator's office to help make town meeting more efficient than it was last time. And anyway, I'm going to show up.
Mhm.
I'll participate as requested. A couple other things that are also going on. The town's media group is putting together presentation videos. They did that last year too. And I just remember today to reach out to Kaylee that I, certainly want to get involved in that. I don't know how far she's gotten with it, but I would like to combine the 3 articles really to say this is the main meat of what we're looking for, what we recommend from CPA this year, and tie together the similarities. So I'll be working on that.
I also understand that one of the intents is to showcase the existing conditions. So it'll be an opportunity for Keith Lavoy to show the existing conditions at the baseball field and the softball field. So she'll film that as well as for the Blake Street project, so people can see what the parking lot and the park look like today. So it'll hopefully clarify and make people able to understand exactly what the situation is before they vote.
Now, Lori, on Blake Street, I don't know to what extent you want to talk about it, but you mentioned that you did another site visit with a couple members of the select board and Stephanie. Is there any feedback that came from that that's
Yeah, so
enhances what we're talking about?
yeah, so I took the plans out and I showed them exactly the limitations of the work and showed them like where the pergola would be and where the fence would be. And so at that meeting, I was asked for a cost estimate to reconstruct the parking lot, the municipal parking lot, so the portion that wouldn't be covered by CPA funds. So I was able to get that estimate today from the beta group and I forwarded it to them. And the estimate came out at approximately $93,000. So of course, the meeting on Monday, I imagine there will be some feedback from the select board. I know that the Financial Planning Committee voted on the CPA articles, the 3 articles. I believe they voted in unanimous support of the Playing Fields project and the Historical Society project. And it was a split vote on the Blake Street project. So it's my understanding because it was a split vote, it was a tie. They will not be making a recommendation one way or the other.
That's good to know.
What board was that?
Financial planning?
Um, well, fair enough. I think our last meeting's discussion was clear, at least I believe I'm speaking for the committee, that we had unanimous consensus to support the Blake Street project. It qualifies, it meets a community need, and it was affordable with our reserves and revenue, while still leaving some in our unreserved fund. And I spoke to those same points to the master plan committee at its last meeting. There certainly were some mixed comments at that meeting, but no one can deny that it is the one aspect of downtown revitalization that we're pursuing at this point. And so there certainly is support from that committee to bring it forward. And that's the case I intend to reiterate with the select board, that we believe it should come before the voters.
Oh, and I also did want to mention that the RFP for the reuse of 4 West Main Street is out on the street. So you can find that on in the bid section, which is located under the departments, the administration department. So those bids are due on March 30th at 2 p.m. So by town meeting, we
Interesting.
should know if the town has received any bids on the reuse of 4 West Main. So hopefully that'll help clarify the situation for Blake.
Well, that's good to know. We've heard the comment more than once that improving the public park and parking and drainage and all the other benefits of the Blake Street proposal might impact someone's decisions around putting a bid in for 4 West Main. Is there anything in the RFP that could possibly make that case? Because I could never see it that way. I felt like if the town's committing to spend to improve the area next to the building, why wouldn't that be a good thing?
Yeah, I'm still confused as to why people want to hold off on the park improvement having to do with 4 West Main, because
Yeah.
of course it's a public park. It's not being put forward as a potential acquisition with 4 West Main. So
That's what I wanted to
abutters
know.
don't typically dictate what happens with public parks. Usually that determination is made by the citizenry of Northborough. So I've always been confused by that comment. Um, and of course, it was mentioned in the past that maybe the idea would just be to pave over the park and create parking. But our zoning bylaws have certain stipulations for how far parking can be from intersections, and we also have buffering requirements for parking lots. So when you take into account all of our design standards for parking lots, you really can only construct 1 additional parking space.
Hmm.
So there really, as far as I know, is no alternative to, I mean, I suppose you could just pave over the entire thing. But there's already a drainage problem up there, so I don't really see what the benefit to the citizenry would be to pave it over and have an even bigger drainage problem. So the whole thing is kind of confusing to me,
I'm
honestly.
going to imagine that the RFP does not say, we would request that the proponent replace this park with something.
No.
There's no
Right.
mention.
So if it doesn't say that, why are they going to do it?
There's no mention. There is, of course, there is mention to the parking lot, and there is extra points if the parking lot will still remain accessible to other uses. So for like Apple Fest, for example. So, that they won't want to own all of the parking spaces in the municipal parking lot. But that's really the only mention.
Well, this is good feedback because I think it's should be clear to hopefully eliminate that objection that's come up several times. So maybe that'll be a good thing.
I agree.
And Millie, hearing you talk, it reminded me, you made some comments at the master plan meeting that I really took note of, the fact that you saw anything we do to enhance downtown shows an investment on the town's part to encourage businesses to stay or expand or new businesses to come. And
Mhm.
I made a note of that. I want to try to use that in some way.
Thank you.
Anybody have any other comments, advice, anything else about presenting the Blake Street Park and Streetscape Improvement Project?
No, just to emphasize why it's different than last year.
Yeah, another good point. I've worked on how we make clear where the money is coming from, how we make clear that our reserves and resources more than cover it, and that uh, it qualifies and is consistent with our community preservation application goals and our master plan goals and so on. So yeah, differentiating from the previous warrant article, it's not the same project. It's been trimmed and made cost effective and will not affect any free cash the town has will not increase borrowing, will not affect anything other than the fact that the property surcharge has contributed to the revenues, obviously. Property surcharge, I mean to say, that's existing.
Oh, and I did want to mention that the CSX denied the black aluminum fence.
Hmm.
They said that the fence can't have holes greater than 2 by 2 inch. So that means a chain link fence, or that means like a stockade fence. So ultimately, I did discuss the fence options with a few people. And the proposal is now to do a stockade fence, wood stockade fence that would be stained, and then have a mural on it. And of course, I was just quickly looking to open up the photo example. And of course, I can't find it quickly. But I'll email that to you folks so you can see the type of fencing that we are now proposing. And if you have any comments for me, please feel free to send those along.
Just to give a verbal description of what you presented and some of the discussion that came up during the master plan committee when you showed this for the first time. It's a somewhat solid and simple fence, but it gives the opportunity to put artwork on it. And the cultural council showed great interest in taking that opportunity, so that ultimately it could be an enhancement to the park area by providing a place for local artwork to be displayed. And
I just found it. So let me share that for you so you can see what that looks like. So this is what we discussed. We discussed staining the fence, potentially black, maybe another color. And then I did discuss with the one of the cultural council members about putting a mural on the fence, something like this. Or, this is just an idea, whatever they come up with, to really make it into something that's kind of like a wow. So the good thing about this is, of course, there's no way people can climb this fence. So it will definitely maximize
Don't say that,
safety.
Lori.
Yeah, I'm telling
Big
you.
mistake, don't say it.
Yes, I suppose middle school boys maybe, but it shouldn't be easily mountable.
It's not an attractive nuisance, that's for sure.
And I did clear it with the DPW. I did also talk about a vinyl fence, but he was concerned that with the freight railroad, with the trains going by, that it just wouldn't be hardy enough. So that's when we went to the wood fence.
And
When
is
I think of
that,
a stockade fence, I think of ones that have the little like spikes on top, not spikes, but rounded top. This is much prettier than what I think of as a stockade fence.
Yeah, I chose this fence because I was looking for something with the flat panels
Yeah, it's pretty. It's nice.
that you could paint on.
and does that look the same on both sides with or without the mural, obviously?
That's a good question. The other side, of course, would be facing the railroad tracks.
Right.
I'm not sure. I would have to check with the fence company to see what the other side looks like. I imagine that there's some sort of cross rails.
So is that something we're able to do? Oh, I guess it wouldn't matter because,
They don't care as long as there's no opening that's greater than 2 by 2.
Right, but I guess I thought our bylaw said something about the nice side of the fence has to be facing the abutting property.
No, we're just considering a fence bylaw right now
Okay,
with the planning board, and it does not say that.
okay,
And I think that would typically be for residents anyway, not for like a
I
public
agree.
utility or something like
I
that.
agree. I
No,
just
it's a
figured
good
if
point.
something gets brought up on
Yeah,
that,
it's a good
it's worth
point.
knowing an answer.
Thanks for
Well-
sharing that, Lori.
Lori, does that change your budget at all?
And we've got a contingency that we built into the budget, so we should still be able to afford this fence. So they haven't gotten, so we're right now out to bid for the Complete Streets financed option. We haven't finalized the design for this phase, the park phase. So I think we should be all set because I did bake into it a 20% contingency, and typically there's only a 15% contingency. And I did that because we were not yet at the 100% design phase. So if it's going to be a little bit more expensive, then I think we'll still be in good shape with the budget we have.
Good.
Good to know. So, I obviously I'll go to the select board on the 9th and use these updates and be making the case that all three of these project recommendations should remain on the warrant, and that has been the history of the CPA in town, and that's the way the bylaw it is written, that we believe it should be. So I expect that we'll get consensus on that, and we'll bring it to the voters, which is the way it should be. On the summarizing on the other two besides Blake Street, once we get the number of windows clarified for the historic building, I think the fact that that came down in cost, I have to believe that impressed the financial planning committee. That was a subject that came up a lot when they first looked at the application, and those guys did a good job bringing that into affordability. And when it comes to the Milliken ball field, seems to have a lot of public support already, and support from the school administrators. So I believe that will have broad support as well.
Yeah, I think the before and after video would be very effective in that respect.
Yeah, for sure. Just for people that don't really remember what those fields look like. But we've supported two other projects in that field, the irrigation and the lighting.
Right.
So it's totally consistent with what CPA is good for.
Yeah, we've done the basketball courts there too, right?
Not there. Remember that was pulled back.
Mhm.
They wanted to do it, and then rec department pulled it back for a variety of reasons. Chose other priorities. We did we did recommend CPA for basketball court improvements at a couple of the other elementary schools. Right, it was Z School and another one that the rec basketball group brought forward. Well, that was really all the subjects I wanted to get out and get people's feedback on, and I really appreciate it personally. Are there any other items of business anyone wants to bring up? Hearing none, I encourage you to watch or come in person to the select board on March 9, Monday, I encourage you to come to the mock town meeting, April 13 at the senior center, and see what that's all about, and maybe gather notes and feedback.
I have a
And,
conflict on Monday, so I can't come, but I'll watch it afterwards, but I'll be at the mock meeting.
Mm-hmm.
very good, thank you.
Yep. Is that meeting, the select board meeting on the 9th, is that at 7? I think it is, right?
I don't know exactly. Aren't they usually
Okay.
6:30 these days? But I
Oh, maybe. I
have to look it up
6:30 till midnight.
if you're lucky.
Oh, God.
I just looked at the agenda that's posted on the select board page. And it's got a 6:30 start.
Okay, thank you.
And the CPA articles are number 4.
Good to know. Thank you. Okay. Under new business, I don't see the need to set a meeting date before town meeting unless something comes up. And therefore, we'll go forward, and should the need for a meeting come up pre or post town meeting, and in the summer, we'll make a date at that time. But I welcome any ideas or feedback in the meantime. So thank you.
Thank you, John.
Anybody have anything else?
No.
Hearing none, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Thank you, Leslie and Millie. Roll call vote to adjourn. Todd,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Leslie,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Millie,
yes.
and me. Thank you again for coming.
Thank you, everybody.
Good
Jack.
night.